Welcome back to the second section of the raster analysis today. Today we will walk you through several tools that are frequently used in raster analysis. The first thing is the DEM layers and how can you merge several tiles of those raster layers together by using the mask. The second one will be the distance. The distance function will create a raster buffer based on the vector layer you have. The third tool is the zonal statistics. With those things, it's something like the summarize, but you can get the statistics with different zone areas. The last one is the reclassify. With the reclassify, you can actually cluster some group of values into and reassign the new values with this cluster or group. So let's start with the DEM to the mosaic raster. So some of the DEM layers, if you download from USGS, it is not a raster format that ArcMap can use. So for this, if you see something with something.dem, the first thing you do is to use the tool called the DEM to raster, input your DEM layers, create a new file for the grid file, and then choose the integer or float. So after that, you will create an SRE format grid file for you to do the analysis. If we have multiple DEM files that we need to merge, that there is the other tools called the mosaic to the new raster. So from here you will need to do is to mosaic to the new raster tools and put multiple raster layers in here. Be sure to make the band into one if you are doing just one value per cell. And the second thing to be remembered here is if you are doing a mosaic, please remove all possible extent in the cell size, or choose the extent as the union of all inputs for you to actually get the right area of the process and the execution. The second tool we will walk you through is the distance layers. So the distance layer here, we had an example to start with the string arc and create the buffer for the string layer. So the tool is located at the spatial analysis tools within the distance, and you need to click the Euclidean distance, not the direction. The Euclidean distance is the correct tool you need. So if you put in this and make sure your cell size is correct, make sure your raster layer is saved into a folder, not in the geodatabase. And if you click OK, you will see the result in the right hand side here. Unlike the buffer tools will only generate a certain distance of the buffer. Here it will float from the 0 to the end of your processing extent. From there, you are able to create some set of the distance by using the raster calculator. For zonal statistics, please click the zonal from the statistics from the spatial analysis tools and choose the zonal statistics as a table. So for zonal statistics, what you need to do is to put the area that you will divide it. So if you have two zones like the raster 29, here there is a zone 0 and a zone 1. And you will zone by its value. And what is the raster layer you want to get the statistics from? Here we put in the slope, so you are doing the slope statistics based on the two zones from the raster 29. So once you click OK, you can choose you want mean or other values or all, and you will get a table like this, which tells you in a zone 0, which is the brown color, the slope, the mean of the slope is 23. On the other hand, for the value 1, which is the green area, the mean of the slope will be the 19 instead. The last tools here is the reclassify tools. The reclassify tools is located in spatial analysis tools, in the reclass and the reclassify. From the reclassify tools, if your input is not an integer, you probably want to use the symbology to break down into the number of categories. So if we want to have 3 different categories, we will want to have the symbology and make it into 3 classes first. And then we go back to the reclassify tools and adjust the value of each tools at first. Some hint for adjust those values is you don't want to touch the start and end values, but adjust the ranges between those two. So if you click OK, you will be able to see the result of that into 3 different colors with 3 different new values. Let's switch back to the ArcMap, and let's walk you through how we do each by each exercise. From the demo section, the demo package here, let's go back to the DEM to the mosaic layer first. Right click on activate it. So from here, you will able to see there is a DEM called the Q1923 and the other is Q1922. So what you need to do is you need to generate this gray area, DEM to raster from the search button. Click on search and you will see the conversion tools here. You will need to input those Q1923 DEM here or the 22 here and generate the raster here. If you generate that, you should be able to see a raster layer looks like this instead of a gray area. So that's how you generate a raster layers. And you can just do the mosaic tools and then create a big picture of those DEM layers. So let's go to the distance exercise, reactivated this. So here is our streams. So if you click the spatial analysis tools distance and find out the distance, the Euclidean distance, you will need to use the DEM. You will need to use the stream arc here. You will need to actually create a specific folders and then click OK. And if you didn't set up the extent or something, it will create the extent just same as your monitor here. So you will only give this. If you want to have the specific mask or the extent, please set up that first. And from this distance layers, if I want to have something that within, for example, 200 feet of my stream arc, I can go to the map algebra, use the raster calculator to make it everything less than 200. So you will see the two values. The green area is the area within the 200, and the rest of them that is larger than 200 will be the dark purple area that with the value 0. That's how you create the distance, the buffer distance, and actually set up different type of ranges for your own needs. Next, let's switch back to the zonal statistics. Here you will see there is a 2 zones and there is a slope layers for you. So if we want to have the statistics values for those 2 zones, the first thing you do is to choose the spatial analysis tools. Choose the zonal statistics as a table. Right click on that. Our zone area is the raster 29, so let's click the raster 29. And we want to do the statistics based on the slope DEM. You can choose the O, or you can choose some specific combination here. Here we will choose the mean and standard deviations and click OK. So after you click OK, that will create a table for you, and you will see the value 1, the zone value 0, and the zone 1, their different mean and the standard deviations are shown here. The last thing here we would like to tell you and to play with is the reclassify. So for the reclassify, first thing here is depends on how many different classes you want to reclass. Here you will need to choose like different classes. If I only want to make 2 classes, I will do this first. And then go to the reclass tab on the reclassify tools. Once you do the DEM, it will reclass into 2 values. You can change one with the 1000 and the other one start with 1000. Leave the smallest and the largest value here, don't touch that. And if you click OK, it will reclassify here just as your symbology, but the value will be 1 and 2. So that's how you reclass those tools, those layers into 2 values.